In the village of Okunwo, the most feared sound was the beating of the Ikoro drum, for it meant another widow was about to face the 7 days. It was a tradition no one dared question, passed down for generations. Every woman whose husband died would be locked alone in a small, dark room at the shrine, given only water and a little food. If she came out alive after 7 days, she was innocent. If she died, it meant she had killed her husband. Many had died, some survived, but never the same. It was a custom Simi had always hated. She had spoken against it many times, but never too loudly, for such talk could earn a person trouble. She believed no one should be treated like that, and she never thought she would be the one to wear the white wrapper. Simi loved her husband, Ade, with all her heart. He was a kind man, never raising his voice at her. Together, they had built a quiet life, raising their 2 children, Kola, 6 years old, and little Ayo, 5 years old. Ade was strong and full of life. He often carried the children on his shoulders, making them squeal with laughter. And he told Simi she was the best part of his world. But one morning, Ade woke with a strange weakness in his limbs. His forehead burned hot, his breathing shallow. The village healer gave him herbs, but his condition grew worse with each passing hour. Simi stayed by his side, sponging his skin, begging him to eat. His lips were dry, his eyes glassy. She prayed silently that the sickness would pass as quickly as it had come. By evening, his body began to shake. He held her hand tightly, as though he knew his time was near. Before dawn, Ade was gone. The sound that left Simi's mouth was unlike any cry she had ever made. It tore through the walls and reached the ears of the neighbors. Moments later, the drum began to beat in the distance. The sound filled her with dread. She knew what it meant. Her mother rushed in and wrapped her arms around her, but the old woman's voice was trembling as she whispered for Simi to submit to the ritual. If she refused, the elders could punish her family. Simi thought of her children and the danger they would face. Her heart felt like it was breaking all over again as she agreed. On the morning of the ritual, she tied the white mourning wrapper around her waist. Her children clung to her legs, their eyes wide and wet. She kissed them and promised silently in her heart that she would return. The villagers walked behind her to the shrine, the air heavy with judgment and curiosity. The room was smaller than she imagined, the mud walls cold and the air thick. A clay pot of water stood in the corner. The heavy wooden door closed behind her with a dull thud. She sat on the floor, pulling her knees to her chest, her mind drifting to memories of Ade's laughter, the smell of his skin after a day's work, the way he used to call her name. The first day passed in slow silence. Early the next morning, she heard the soft scrape of the food tray sliding under the door. She drank from the pot and forced herself to eat. The room was still. Hours passed. She lay on the floor, drifting between exhaustion and grief. Then, on the second night, something changed. The door that was never supposed to open until the 7th day began to creak. Slowly, quietly. The sound was faint, but in the suffocating darkness, it was louder than her heartbeat. Simi froze.